If you're joining us tonight for the first time, we're seeing each night one additional name of Puja Gurudev. We'll chant some of the previous names and then add one more name tonight. Om Chinna Samshayaya Namaha.
Om Chinna Samshayaya Namaha.
Om Jagadatmane Namaha.
Om Jagadatmane Namaha.
Om Jagat Sakshine Namaha.
Om Jagat Sakshine Namaha.
Om Janapriyaya Namaha.
Om Janapriyaya Namaha.
Om Jiva Brahmaikya Vide Namaha.
Om Jiva Brahmaikya Vidhe Namaha.
Om Jivan Muktaya Namaha.
Om Jivan Muktaya Namaha.
Om Jirna Mandirodharakaya Namaha.
Om Jira Mandirodharakaya Namaha.
Om Tapovana Shishyaya Namaha.
Om Tapovana Shishyaya Namaha.
Om Tapovana Shishyaya Namaha.
Om Tapovana Shishyaya Namaha.
So today the new name which is added is Tapovana Shishya. Tapovana Shishya means he was a disciple of great Swami Tapovanji Maharaj, who had mastered all Shastras. He was a stalwart, so well known. When his Mahasamadhi took place in Himalayas, there was a lot of sannyasis from all over the Himalayan region to come there. Just sannyasis, people just in clothes like this, to come and do that Jal Samadhi of his body. All the sannyasis that the Himalayas could muster up came to his Mahasamadhi. An ocean of orange. That was the renown of that great Swami Tapovanji Maharaj. And this Gurudev was a disciple. And I reiterate again, on previous days I have told already, there are two types of Guru. Basically, there are several types of Guru, but for us, for our purposes, and generally speaking, there are two types of Guru. One is called a Diksha Guru and the other is called a Shiksha Guru. Diksha means, when we are children, they initiate that person. Diksha means initiation. So they initiate in some mantra, they give Jane and that kind of thing. They're called Diksha Guru, that initiate, the one who gives initiation. Shiksha means the one who gives teaching. And which is Shiksha? Teaching in Atma Jnana, knowledge of self. So Gurudev's Diksha Guru is Swami Shivananji Maharaj, who gave him the sannyas and initiated him into sannyas. Shivananji Maharaj. Then his Shiksha Guru is Swami Tapovanji Maharaj, who taught Atma Jnana, Upanishad and Bhagavad-gita and all to him. Like that. Now I'm sure there are so many of you here would have some Diksha Guru when you were younger and all. They catch you and shave out your hair and leave a little chotki on the top there. Something like that. And they give you that janev. So, that Diksha Guru. It is possible that Diksha Guru and Shiksha Guru are one and same. But it need not be like that also. Okay. Alright. So, he's called as Tapovana Shishya. And see the name of Swami Tapovanji Maharaj. Tapovan means one who is engaged in tapas all the time. And Tapovanji Maharaj never left that. Tapovan literally means that that forest where there is tapas. That forest where there is tapas. That is literal meaning. When it is given for the name of a person, it means that person who does tapas in the forest. Like that. It means he never leaves the forested Himalayan region to come down to the plains, which he really didn't. He never left. Okay. Great Mahatma. Alright. Now, if you're joining us tonight for the first time, as I said, you will not know that we are also doing Bhagavad-gita, and we have reached chapter 4. We We're coming down to the end of chapter 4. Now we have to see 434. Let me say a very special welcome to all of you and all the listeners across Trinidad and Tobago and across the world, those who are listening in. We keep getting a lot of emails from different places, people are listening. And a very special Hari Om and Namaste Asitaram to Pandit Randhir Maharaj and all the members of this Sai Center in Shogunas here. We're so delighted to be with you. I've been here before, isn't it? Yeah. I remember being there. Okay, so that's the first time I come. In a most wonderful verse, one of my favorite verses. When you go through Bhagavad-gita in the early stages, you're just getting introduced to Bhagavad-gita, there are certain verses and certain things that stick with you. I attribute it to past life things. They will not stick just like that. It has to be coming from previous life. When I just got introduced to the Bhagavad-gita, I had memorized this verse just like that, without making an attempt to memorize. Just stuck in my head. So how you will explain? Just from past lives only. See this, it's the most famous verse. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
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 Hari Prashnena Sevaya.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Upadekshante te jnaninas tattvadarshinaha.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Yajñātvā na punarmoham evam yasyasi pānava.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Yena bhutanya shekani dakshasyatmanyatho mayi.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Yena bhutanya sheshena. That last line we just chanted. You have there? Yena bhutanya sheshena. This is a part of it. I don't know where I keep getting all of these things. First time I'm seeing this. One word little different there. Yena bhutanya sheshani. Sheshena is there. Yeah, this is sheshani. That sheshena is correct actually. There's something is wrong with it. Anyway, that is a technical thing. See now. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. This is the verse. This verse summarizes all of Bhagavad-gita, all of the Upanishad, all of the Moksha Shastras in one verse. It's an amazing verse. He says, first of all, see, there's something used in imperative mood. It says, Tad Vidhi. That means God, reality, absolute. Vidhi means know. In an imperative mood, you must come to know. This is the first part. Tad Vidhi. Means why you are here, why you are living on this earth, what is your purpose here, what is your destiny, what is your destination, what are you supposed to do in this lifetime. That is first, in a small little word, Tad Vidhi. Is joined together by Sandhi. Know God. If you have to summarize your whole purpose of life, it is this. Tad Vidhi. Know God. Bas. That's the purpose of life. Next thing, the second question, how? If you tell somebody you're supposed to know God, then the next question will be, how? Well, we have to approach some guru, some teacher, some master, some elevated person, something like that. And he says, what you have to do, pranipatena, pariprashnena, and sevaya. 3 things are given there. Pranipatena, pariprashnena, and sevaya. This is all given in third case. Third case means instrumental case in Sanskrit. It means to say, by means of which, when you use that case, through this means, you come to know God. So what are the 3 means which are given there? 3 means, pranipatina. Means you approach some master and do pranipatina means you surrender like this. Surrender means what? You go and you prostrate. That is symbolic of surrender. Then, pariprashnena. You ask questions. And that also, intelligent questions about Atma Jnana. One day you ask, Guruji, how come your 2 socks are different color? One fellow gone by the Guru, and he see the Guru went, purposely the Guru do that. He wear 2 different color socks. One yellow socks and one blue socks. So the chela asking now, potential chela, he asking, what? How come you have 2 different color socks? The Guru say, well, I myself thinking the same thing, and I have a next pair just like this inside. That's just to confuse the chela, to see if he really interested in Atma Gyan or he interested in socks. So anyway, this is pariprashnena, means ask questions. We'll come back to that just now. This is the second means. And third now is sevaya. Sevaya means service. Do seva. So we approach some guru, we prostrate. We ask intelligent questions. And we do seva. And these 3 words chosen by Bhagavan Shri Krishna symbolizes the 3 main paths which we know in Bhagavad-gita. What are these paths? One path is called as Bhakti Marg, other is called as Jnana Marg, and last is called Karma Marg. The order in Sanskrit, I told you, don't take order in Sanskrit verses. Sanskrit verses don't tell any, or if they have to tell an order in Sanskrit, you can't see. Let me tell you something. In English, you can tell order by the words, because if you switch the words, the order switch. The order switches. In Sanskrit, you can switch words around, order doesn't switch. If you have to tell order in Sanskrit, you have to tell first is this, second is this, and third is this. Then only you know. But that is the order. So here, the order which is given, or Karma Yoga is given last. That is the first one. Karma Yoga. Seva. Karma Yoga is nothing but Seva. Means you have to do service. Do service to the Guru and do service to humanity. Do service to the world. Do service to the environment, in nature. Simple. And when we say do service, it doesn't mean that you have to go out and physically do something. You see, just by not throwing garbage across Trinidad and Tobago is doing a service to the country. Not throwing garbage is a service. People go on throwing garbage everywhere. Amazing how Trini, I tell you. Oh, I don't know when we'll come out of this. I don't know what pap I did in my last life also. When I see this thing, it boils my blood. क्या पाप मैंने किया? So, just don't litter the place. That itself is a service. It's the simplest of service. Seva, the karma marga. You do your work and offer it for the benefit of the welfare of all of humanity. That is called seva. And when we go to live with the Guru to learn, during that time also, we have to do seva. Not just to go there to take knowledge. See, I'll tell you a nice story. I don't know how many of you have been to our Uttarkashi ashram. Well, the ashram is on a hill like that, on the mountainside. And Ganga is flowing way down below. Like, you have to walk like from here till busy corner there. You'll have to walk like from here to busy corner. But that is downhill. This is flat, you know. Here in Chagonas. But there you'll have to go downhill to reach the water of Ganga. So, Tapowanji Maharaj, Guru, told Gurudev one day. Gurudev just reached the ashram. Chinmaya, he called him. You know, over here, go take a nice vegetable garden inside the ashram. Over here, go take a nice vegetable garden. So Gurudev said, but our Gurudev, but Swamiji, there is no water supply in this ashram. How will water the plants? Tapowanji Maharaj said, so wait, have Ganga flowing way down there for? And it have bucket in the ashram. So he had to now go and plow this place by hand, plant vegetables, and go and get the plants, plant vegetables, and walk down all the way downhill and carry water uphill. And water that garden every single day till it gave vegetables. And nowadays, if any guru tell any shishya that, he changed guru. Leave that guru. One guru, one chela, a potential chela again. He went to a guru. So he said, oh great guru, can I be your disciple? That guru said, well, you'll have to do some seva, you know. So he said, really? What seva I'll have to do? He said, well, every morning you'll have to get up and heat the water for me to take bath, because we live in a cold place and the water will be cold, you know. You'll have to heat the water so that I can take bath. Oh. Then after that, what do I have to do? Well, you have to go and make some garam ekdam first class masala chai. Hot masala chai, you know. Oh. Then what? Then you'll have to make breakfast. Chai is only chai time, you know. That's not breakfast. You'll have to make breakfast for me. What do you take for breakfast? Idli and coconut chutney and sambar. So you'll have to make. And then you'll have to make up my bed. And you have to sweep out the kutia. And wash my clothes. He said, and where you go do? Yeah, asked the guru. He said, what you go do? He said, I won't do nothing. You go, you chela, you have to do this seva. He said, Guruji. He said, can I be the guru and you be the chela? He want to turn guru already. For the guru. Means he have no intention of doing any seva. Seva, karma yoga. Seva symbolizes all karma yoga. Our karma is supposed to be done in the spirit of seva. We have been talking about this all 1 month and more. Right? Seva. Then, pariprashnena. This is jnana marg. And pranipatena means surrender like this. Come on, do prostration, flat, dandavat pranam. That is bhakti marg. Bhakti marg requires total surrender before Bhagwan, before Guru, like that. Bhakti. So, second path in this Bhagavad-gita is bhakti marg. Total surrender before God. Let me tell you something. Bhakti is more easily said than done. People that say, this is one of the biggest misunderstanding I have seen on this spiritual path. People that talk about bhakti, but real bhakti, real devotion, I tell you, that is a rare thing. Devotion which I have seen across this world, people feel if they could sing a bhajan nice, that is devotion. But Bhagwan don't look for no nice singing bhajan. In this same Gita we will see in 9th chapter. Bhagwan is talking about, see, patram, pushpam, phalam, toyam. One flower, one leaf, one drop of water, one fruit. But see, Bhagwan doesn't need all our nice thing and nice this, nice thing and that. He cares for all of that, Yo me bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhaktyupahritam ashnami pratatmana. That thing I accept, which is offered with devotion. What he is looking for is devotion. No? Let me tell you something. If somebody croaking like a crapo, but there is devotion in their heart, that bhajan is worth 1,000,000 times more than a person who have a real sweet voice and he have no devotion in his heart. And when he done sing the bhajan, he asking the next man next to him, how a song day? Well, who you singing for? And I am not telling this thing which people tell me. I am telling this thing from experience. People have asked me that before. How a song day? But there is no devotion. There is no such thing as devotion there. If you croak and you have devotion in your heart, Bhagwan, I'll give you a simple example. When one child says, Ma, give me some tina. Ma, give me some tina. One child says, and there's a smaller one, he could only say 1 or 2 words. And he goes, da, 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 ba, 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 da, da, ba, ba, like that. The moral listening to he more than listening to the, who the moral listen to? See, who Bhagwan go listen to? The one who totally helpless, who surrenders totally to him and has devotion in his heart. You see? So, pranipate, one who comes and surrenders before. And I told you, bhakti is not so easy thing. Don't think that everybody has said bhakti easy. It really requires the totally effacing of the ego before Bhagwan. Pranipate, dandavat pranam. When we fall flat like a stick on the ground, that means we have totally given up all cares and all things in the world. Totally surrendered before the Lord. This is bhakti marg. And pariprashnena sevaya. Pariprashnena means ask question. This is the questioning marg. The path of vichar. I go on. The Shastras tell me that Aham Brahmasmi. I am Brahman. But how? I feel I know Brahman. When I go in the market and the man cheat me, I get real vexed with he. That all Brahman and thing gone out the window, What Brahman and thing? You see? How I am Brahman, a little thing like that get me vex. Huh? So, how I am a question, and we ask from the Guru, we ask from the sages and saints, how? Tell me, explain this thing for me. Pariprashnena is the questioning marg. This is Jnana marg. So these are the 3 margas. I told you the whole all the Shastra, everything summarized here. The goal is given and also the means the path is also given. How? Then he says, if any student is so disposed, if he's inclined in this direction, and he says student is so, and he has to be seriously disposed. Not to just, let me go in now because just see what's going on and think, Any student, upadekshyanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. This also now. Two things are there. First is upadekshyanti te jnanam. The sage or the saint, whoever he approaches, that saint or sage will give that knowledge. He'll give. When that student is ready and ripe, some sage, some master, some guru walks into his life. Not that he walks into the guru's life. The guru walks into his life. It's amazing. The student has to make himself ready. Our Gurudev used to say, you blossom like a flower. Bees will come. In the same way, the student has to make himself ready. The guru also will come to meet him, wherever he is. So, upadekshyanti te jnanam, that guru will give that knowledge. And then the last pada is taken from the Upanishad also, the Chandogya. What are the qualities of this guru? These are most wonderful. There in the Upanishad it said, the qualities of the guru is what? Saguru meva vigachet samit panihi shrotriyam brahmanishtam. This is the qualities of Guru is given. He is Shrotriyam and Brahmanishtam. That Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam word of Upanishad is taken, and here two other words are given by Bhagavad-gita and by Bhagavan Shri Krishna, meaning exactly the same thing. What are the two words? Jnaninaha tattvadarshinaha. These are the two words here. The qualities of that Guru are given in these two words. One is Jnaninaha. Jnaninaha means that Guru who knows the Shastras. He is a living embodiment of the Shastras. What that means? That means to say he is able to take the Shastras and to explain that in a language of his time. Not to take the Shastras and go on the same old language, and then all the young people who are there now in the what he talking? Young people are left at a loss. You are supposed to be able to take those Shastras and to really explain that in a modern, up-to-date language, current language. They say in Hindi, Zamana badal gaya. Zamana badal gaya means the time has changed. It's not the same old thing again. So, he has that knowledge at his fingertips, and so he is able to take that thing and bring it into a current language. Jnaninaha. Tattvadarshinaha. Tattvadarshinaha means one who is centered, zeroed in only on Tattva. Tattva means reality, God. One who sees that reality only. His life is not consumed by anything in this world. His life is consumed only, means it's passionate, inspired, and can inspire people about God, reality, not about worldly things. And I keep telling people also, when you come to satsang, when you come to mandir, when like this, you come here. This is not about, you come before Bhagavan, Prabhu, let me get a good job now, I want some money. Let me win the lottery. This is about spirituality, pure spirituality and God realization. This verse starts with Tat Vidhi, know that reality. The verse is about pure spirituality, Tat Vidhi Pranipatina. So, the marga is given, the path, how to reach that reality, and the qualities of the Guru is given, and also that when that student is ripe and ready and fit, that Guru will walk into his life. Yajñatva na punarmoham evam yasyasi Pandava. Oh Arjuna, Pandava, he's calling Arjuna as Pandava. Because Arjuna was the foremost among the Pandavas. Well known, famous, you see. If we tell people, name the 5 Pandavas, then they have to start thinking, no, 5. But Arjuna's name is well known. So he said, oh my dear Arjuna, Yajñatva, having known that reality, because just now we said Tadvidhi, know that reality. Yajñatva, having known that reality, na punarmoham, you will not fall back into this rut of delusion, which you are right now existing in. All of us are existing in that delusion. Totally deluded. The first delusion, we think we are his body. We never think ourselves to be like Tulsidas ji tells. What he tells, see. Ishvara ams jiva avinashi.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama.
Chetan amal sahaj sukh rashi.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama.
Ishwar ams jiva avinashi.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama.
Chetan amal sahaj sukh rashi.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama. Jai Raghu Rama.
Ishvara amsa jiva avinashi. See, our nature is avinashi. Same as Ishvara. But we think that we are this body, we will die. All this is delusion. And from that delusion comes even greater delusion. What is, first, I am this body. Second thing, these people is mine, these people is mine. Those people are not mine. Some are mine and some are not mine. Arjuna was suffering from this delusion. So he said, evam yasyasi, na punarmoham evam yasyasi. O Pandava, means after having acquired this knowledge, this delusion will go away and will never ever return. Yena bhutani asheshena drakshasyat mani atha mai. By after you gain this knowledge, yajñatva, this is the operative term there. Having acquired this knowledge, then you will see all beings in yourself. Yena bhutani asheshena drakshasyatmani. You will see all beings in your own self. Atha mai. And all beings in me also. So then that means to say what? This you have to add up, right? Some thinking has to be done on our part also. Bhagavan cannot, somebody else cannot think everything for us, Look here. One man gave a boy. He said, take $5 in this hand. And take $5 in this hand. I want you to go and buy $5 salt and $5 sugar. The boy gone down the road. He come back. No salt, no sugar. The man said, well, where is the salt and sugar? He said, well, I come back. I forget which $5 is for salt and which $5 is for sugar. This real silly thing. That's silly or not? But you have to also think, when somebody tells something, that person cannot tell you everything. Some little bit of understanding. You have to have some little bit of brain, we say in Trinidad. No brain at all? If we tell, there are 2 bottles on the shelf, a red bottle and a black bottle. A red bottle and a black bottle. Go there and don't bring one of the bottle. Don't bring the black bottle. Now, from that statement, you have to make, if I say don't bring the black bottle, that means you have to bring the, look, a child also knows. Where some people you have to spell out everything. So Bhagavan, see, here you have to do some sort of mathematical addition in your mind. Listen to Bhagavan's statement in this last line which I just read. Bhagavan is saying, having known this reality, you will see all beings in yourself. You will see all beings inside of you. Means, you will realize that I am all this and all beings are in me. If I am all this, all beings are in me. Everybody is in me. And then he says, Athamai, and you will see all beings in me. In Krishna. Krishna is telling Arjuna, you will see all beings in me. You will see all beings in yourself, and you will see all beings in me. So the addition there is what? Myself and Krishna, we are one and same. This is what Tulsi Raj is saying. Ishvara amsa jiva vinashi. Jiva is only a fraction of Ishvara. You have to do that mathematics by yourself. You're not saying it in the verse. If you will see all beings in yourself, and you will see all beings in Krishna, that means to say what? Myself and Krishna, we are one. That's the math you have to do. Bhagavan cannot spell out everything. And the next verse is also very... Now let me tell you something. Today we started in the last section of this 4th chapter. Yesterday, we finished the section on Yajna. Right? Yajna and Karma Yoga and Seva, they all go together. Yajna means sacrifice for the benefit of others. That finished yesterday. These last few verses, about 8 verses or so, in this 4th chapter, is really what we call praise of the knowledge. Praising of the knowledge of the Shastras. We call eulogy of knowledge. So, sometimes we call it as Jnana of the knowledge. Jnana, praise, what in Sanskrit we'll call? There's a terminology for this type of praise. I'll remember just now and tell you. But praise of the knowledge. So, it is not directly connected to the topic which is going on, which is Karma Yoga, Seva, which is called as Yajna. And Yajna here means doing all my actions for the benefit of humanity. That's sacrificing my life for the benefit of humanity. Like Gandhiji will do, or the great sages do, Tapovanji Maharaj, or Gurudev. The best example is our Gurudev. How his whole life traveling all over this globe for 42 years, 43 years, on and on, teaching humanity. That's called Yajna, sacrifice for the whole of humanity. Sacrifice health, body, mind, intellect, everything for the benefit of humanity. So, Jnana Prashamsa, it is called. This is what is going on here, this last part. Jnana Prashamsa. Now see. In this Jnana Prashamsa, praise of knowledge, many nice ideas and topics are coming. So there is a summary of all of Shastras and says, having acquired that, the person will never again return to this world of delusion. Me and mine, you and yours, and all these divisive feelings that we have in our heart. See other one? Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama,
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Api chedasi papebhyah sarvebhyah papakritamah.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Sarvam jnana plavenaiva vrijanam santare.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama
Tatsvayam yoga samvedhah kalenatmani vindati
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama
Shraddhavalabhate jnanam tatparasamyatendriyah
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama
Jnanam ladva param shantim achirena digacchati
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama
Ajñaścāścata samśayātma vinashyati
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama
Nāyam lokosti na paraha na sukham shayatmanah
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama
अपि चेदसि पापेभ्यः सर्वेभ्यः पापकृत्तमः सर्वं ज्ञानप्लवेनैव वृजनं तरिष्यसि अपि चेदसि पापेभ्यः सर्वेभ्यः पापकृत्तमः. This is a very strong line. It will be repeated again. Very close line in 9th chapter. There are two places in Bhagavad-gita where Bhagavan talks about, people feel that in Hinduism, because of the law of karma is inconsistent with forgiveness. Please pay attention to this. This is a deep philosophical idea. People feel that the law of karma is inconsistent with forgiveness. Because if I do some karma, if you do the crime, you have to do the... And they feel that, but the president could pardon you. Correct or not? The president could pardon you, isn't it? This section deals with this very important topic. And do not think that they are inconsistent. That because of the law of karma, you cannot be forgiven. He says, api chet asi papebhya sarvebhya papakritu. If you have committed the worst of crime, Tulsidas ji also talks about this thing. The worst of crime, Bhagavan Sri Ram himself is telling. And he comes and surrenders to me. Koti Brahmana if he has killed. He's telling to Sugriv about Vibhishan, and Vibhishan comes to surrender. Because Sugriv, it is Sugriv, this fellow. Bhagavan just give him refuge. When Vibhishan comes for refuge, Bhagavan says, Sugriv, what do you think we should do? Sugriv says, Prabhu, it is Rakshasa, you know them, na? You know what they have up their sleeve. I feel we should lock he up. Because Ravan kicked him out, right? Ravan kicked out Vibhishan. So, when Vibhishan comes, Sugriv says, I feel we should lock he up because I feel he has some trick up his sleeve. We should lock him up right away. Bhagavan smiles at Sugriv. He says, if my memory serves me right, I remember our next fella who brother beat him and throw him out. And he come by me for refuge. And I give him refuge. I said, great, you know that fella? And that time Bhagavan makes this statement. If he has killed a Koti Brahmana and he comes to me for refuge, I cannot turn him away. My vow is I will give him refuge. I forgive him immediately. And one who really surrenders before Bhagavan, every bit of karma that he has is burnt up. All sanchita karma and all agami karma, everything burnt up. But that's why I'm telling you this. That's what I was telling in the beginning. This surrender is a very important and a very difficult thing, because people hold on to their ego all the way up to the wire. We hold on to our ego all the way up to the wire. We go and we prostrate before Bhagavan and we lift we head to see if he's watching. You're holding on to the ego right on to the wire. That is an amazing thing. Apichedasi papebhya sarvebhya papa kritam. He has done the worst sin, the worst among sins he has done. And that person comes and surrenders to me. Sarva, and here, there is surrenders. Here, listen to this word now. Sarvam jnana pravenaiva vrijinam samtarishis. And that person acquires jnana. That jnana will serve as a boat to take him across all bad karmas which he has done. So, two things we are talking about here now. In 9th chapter, this will come. The surrender to Bhagavan. Because Bhakti Yoga is there. Bhakti Yoga is from 7 to 12. So 9 falls in between there. There, he'll say, he comes and surrenders to me. I will forgive that person. Here now, he says, that person acquires knowledge. The one who has done the worst sin, sarvam jnana plavena eva vrijinam samtarishyasi. When all these sins which he have done, if he acquires knowledge, this knowledge will burn away, remove all his papa. So now what? There Bhagavan will remove all papa, and here knowledge will remove all papa. So then what is the mathematics again? Bhagavan and knowledge, they are one and same. That is why the Upanishad says in the Taittiriya, it starts off in the second valli. He says, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Brahma, the absolute reality. God is Satyam Jnanam Anantam. He is knowledge itself. Jnanam. So, because you read this part of 9th chapter and you read here in 4th chapter, say, here Jnana will remove all papas. There Bhagavan will remove all papas. Then you know Jnana and Bhagavan, they are one and Jnana means absolute knowledge. And Bhagavan. Therefore in Upanishad again it says, Brahmavit Brahmeva Bhavati. He who knows Brahman becomes Brahman. So knowledge and Brahman, they are one and same. He who knows Brahman becomes Brahman. Don't think we are talking about different. And this is why we say it is not the type of knowledge like chemistry and physics. It's not knowledge that we know in an objective way. It's subjective knowledge. Then we know we are one with God. All of these philosophical ideas which are there in Gita require more and more study, more and more thinking. You're not going to get Gita in one night yajna. You have to go on reflecting. Yathai dhamsi, how? He says, Yathai dhamsi samidhognihi bhasmasat kurute Arjuna jnana agni sarva karmani bhasmasat kurute tatha. Just like, fire, when you throw that, or you offer this ghee and all the samagri and all the things into that fire, and the fire burns all of them to ashes. In the very same way, all our karmas get burnt away in the fire of knowledge. He who has kindled the fire of knowledge and has come to realize subjectively, I am Satchit, Chidananda Rupa Shivoham, who realizes that, he burns away all karmas. People say, but Swamiji, his prarabdha karma is left over. Na? Prarabdha karma is there only for the body. This body only goes through prarabdha karma. The one who is living inside, he is different from the body or not? The one who is living inside realizes that he is one with Ishvara. And the body has to go through its prarabdha karma. What? The body has to eat, it has to get old, and it has to die. But the one who is dwelling inside, Ajo nitya shashvato yam puranaha, nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavaka. In second chapter we have seen all of these. He is eternal, the one who is inside. And he realizes his eternal nature. The body goes through its own prarabdha, its own karma, like that. Nahi, and I told you this is eulogy, jnana prashamsa. Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitram iha vidyate. There is nothing in this universe that purifies like knowledge. And please remember, in Jnanmar we call it knowledge, in Bhakti Mar we call it Bhagwan. But they are one and same. There is nothing in this universe that purifies like knowledge. Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitram iha vidyate. And this is justifiably stated in Shastras. Why? Because human beings study Shastras, and only human beings are capable of knowledge, because human beings have an intellect. The intellect is not given to any of the other species. So with this intellect, we are supposed to study this knowledge of Shastras and come to realize this knowledge subjectively as Brahman within us. So he says, this is being given to us. Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitram iha vidyate. Tat swayam yoga samsiddhaha kalena atmani vindati. That in time, Bhagavan Shankaracharya said, chirakalam, dirgha kalam. For a long time when we study. You see, kalena, in time. That is all that is given here. Bhagavan Bhashakar says, dirgha kalam, means for a long time. It means to say, I was just telling you that, you can't come and study Gita. You know, you read Gita 1 or 2 days. But nothing happened. One man came and told Gurudev, he said, Gurudev, I went through this Gita 10 times, nothing happened. 10 times or 100 times? I forget now. 10 times. I went through this Gita 10 times, nothing happened. Gurudev said, you went through the Gita 10 times, how many times did the Gita go through you? See, the thing has to go through us. And therefore, dirgha kal. You have to study it for a long time. You don't think it will happen just like that. Look here. Even to pass mathematics at O levels, right? CXC. It's still called CXC? CSEC. Now they call CSEC. And they go on changing. In my lifetime, I don't know how many times it changed already. So just to pass the CSEC, right? How much of study you have to do that? And how over and over, you have to keep repeating the same thing before you pass that thing. And people want to read Gita one time and they must pass moksha. How it will happen? So kalena, that swayam yoga samsiddhaha, he becomes established in that state of union with God by himself. Through himself, by himself, with himself. He becomes established. Vindati, which is that state. And the next phrase is also a very famous line. Shraddhavan lavate jnanam tat parasamyate indriyaha. Only one with shraddha, faith, will acquire. It means to say, all these things which are being taught here, suppose I don't understand it. Right? Suppose I don't understand it. First, I have to have faith in it that one day I will come to understand. You can't say, no, I don't understand, my stupidness. Because you don't understand, you say it is stupidness. You know, Trinidadians are very fast to say that is stupidness. Shraddhavan lavate jnanam. That the one who is Shraddha, he will acquire this knowledge. He will acquire oneness with himself, oneness with God. Jnanam labdhva param shanti machirena adhigacchati. Means to say, having acquired this knowledge, he reaches a state of supreme peace, supreme happiness. What a nice line it is. The result of knowledge, becoming one with ourselves, realizing our subjective self, the result of that is supreme peace. Shantim, param shantim, achirena. In quick time, he reaches that state of supreme peace. And he says in this number 40, see, listen to this, now is a warning. warning taking into consideration what he has said from chapter 2 all the way to this place now. See what he is saying. Agnyascha, one who does not know the self. Agnya. Nya means one who knows. One who does not know himself. Agnyascha. Ashraddhathanascha means one who has no shraddha, no faith. But he doesn't know himself. Means he is ignorant, first thing. Then second, ashraddhathana means he has no shraddha. He said, such a person who is also samshayatma, doubting everything. Anything you tell, he is doubting Thomas. Doubting Tom. What happens to that person? Vinashyati. He perishes. Means he's doomed to an eternal cycle of birth and death, birth and death. And see, this time we are born human being, next time we don't know. Born as a grasshopper, a mole cricket. What is a mole cricket? Some fellows go under the thing and bite the root of it. Yeah? Born as a mole cricket. And get a bowl out. Samshayatma vinashyati, yet he perishes. Na ayam lokaha asti na paro na sukham samshayatmanaha. Such a person, he will never have happiness in his life. What? Agnyascha, one who is ignorant and who has no faith and goes on doubting everything. There's one more thing here. One question arises in this line. What is the question? Is Bhagavan talking about one person with all these three durgun, negative qualities, or is Bhagavan talking about a person with any one of them? That is the question which arises. Well, Bhagavan is talking about a person with any one of them. The person doesn't have to have all three. You know why? Because any one of them you have, all the other two come in. Durgun is like that, you know. Crooks and criminals don't hang out by themselves, you know. It's all Ali Baba and the 40 thieves. Have you heard? You ever have one thief? He always have some. They're gang. That's why today we have the phenomenon of gangs. Criminals always in gangs. So you see, once you have one of them, see, just study any one of them. Agnyaha. Agnyaha is the first one, right? He's ignorant. Well, ignorance will breed a whole number of durgun, bad qualities. It will certainly bring doubt in that person's mind. Being ignorant, anything you tell him, nonsense, man. Why you need all these gurus and shastra and temple and satsang and yajna? Me, I need all that. I could think for myself. So he doubt the efficacy of gurus and shastras and tradition and sampradaya. He doubt in the efficacy of everything. Because ignorance is there in his mind. Ignorance will lead to so many other durga. Then here, Ashraddhadana, no faith. Because of his ignorance. He doesn't know anything about Shastra, so no faith in that. Which will lead to the doubt. So any one of these you have, the others will come. You see? He says, for such a person, he has no place in this world, I mean no happiness in this world, and no happiness hereafter also. Terrible state he reaches. And the last two verses of this chapter, you'll see. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama,
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 Yoga Sanyasta Karmanam Jnana
Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama
चित्वेनं संशयं योगम् आतिष्ठोत्तिष्ठ भारत
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama
Yoga Sanyasta Karmanam Jnana Samchinna Samshayam. By yoga, by karma yoga, Sanyasta Karmanam. Through karma yoga, renounce all karmas. What? But for karma yoga, you have to do karma. How you go renounce all karma? So what it means to say, through karma yoga, means go on performing your karma in the spirit of dedication, the spirit of yajna, sacrifice for others, working for the benefit of humanity, for the world. Do your karma in that way, and eventually give up the sense of doership. See that Bhagwan, Prakritehe kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashaha. We saw that in the 3rd chapter. That Bhagwan himself is doing everything. So continue doing your karma and come to realize eventually that the Lord is doing, I am not doing. This is the first phrase. This is summary of the 3rd and 4th chapter. Now, what then? Jnana sanchinna samshayam. By knowledge, remove all doubt as to your oneness with God. Right now, we always see ourselves separate from God. But by knowledge, come to know that you are one with God. Have no doubt that you are one with that absolute reality. Atmavantam na karmani nibadhanti dhananjaya. And such a person who is given to the self, who is given to oneness with God, to the Atma, that person who realizes his oneness with Atma, karmani nani badnanti, karmas will never ever bind him, bring him back to this world, into this cycle of birth and death. Because it is karma that bring us here. Tasmat ajnanam. Ajnana sambhutam hritam jnana asinatmanaha. Therefore, my dear Arjuna, and Bhagavan is speaking to all of us as Arjuna, with the sword of knowledge. And see, even though this section is on karma yoga, he ends with this, with the sword of knowledge, cut asunder this ignorance which you are steeped in, which is there in your very heart, inside of us. We are so taken over by this ignorance. Jnana asinatmanaha. Jnana asi. Asi means a sword. Jnana asi. With the sword of knowledge, cut asunder this ignorance. Chitva enam samshayam. Having cut this doubt as to our oneness with God. Yogam atishthotishta bharata. Establishing yourself in this oneness with God. Yoga means oneness with God. You utishta, O Bharata, you rise up. You have to get up now and do your duty. In other words, after a person has realized this oneness with God, then he truly starts serving humanity. Calling on Arjuna to start really do his work. And the phalastuti for this. Om Tat Saditi Srimad Bhagavad-gita Su Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastra Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yogo Nama. This chapter is called Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga. The yoga of Jnana Karma Sannyas. The yoga of renunciation of karma through knowledge. Means I realize that I am not a doer. Who is the doer? Bhagavan is the doer. If I renounce that doership, then I renounce all actions. Even though I am engaged in action, this body, mind, intellect will be engaged in action. It will be doing that with full knowledge that really the body, mind, intellect is all they are all operating by Bhagavan's grace only, and they are doing all karma which they are doing. This is the knowledge of the 4th chapter. Okay, Chaturthodhyayah. Chapter 4 comes to an end.